Hey, true believers, England team here. How you guys doing? All right, we got. Oh, I got a chain. I've got like double backgrounds going on. Hello. How's it going? Man of Action's in the house. Maranya, Evil Black Cat. Oh, you're here and there. That's awesome. We're gonna have a decent night. We got to talk more about Superboy. This Superboy thing is has become a deal. You know, it's like people are now saying, yeah, forget the whole bisexual stuff. We don't care about that. But you're fundamentally changing the core of a character here. And we're going to talk about, I believe it was, is a writer? Or he comes up and he's...
It was a colorist.
Colorist, thank you. Who's saying it's wrong. And I do agree in some of the points we're going to be talking about. One thing I've always said, look, if you're making an independent comic book and you put in your own voice, you put in your own politics, it fits. It's your character. Do what you know. You want to live, or you want to live out. You want to be far leftist. Tell everybody that they should give their lives to the government and all that kind of stuff. That's on you, man. It's your book. It's your characters. You created these. But when you come down to characters like Superman and Batman, Spider-Man, and so forth, they belong to the world now. Mm-hmm. They truly do. They belong to the world. And just because you got lucky enough to write them for 5 issues doesn't or shouldn't give you the right to absolutely fundamentally change them. And by that, I mean changing their core. Spider-Man should always be about responsibility. We know that. And one thing, and yes, it did not start in the comics. It started in the TV show. One thing that Superman is about is truth, justice, and the American way. Now, we did a lot of time on this yesterday, and I'm going to touch upon it as much as possible because I cannot overstate how important it is to understand that the way to a better tomorrow, which is what they want Superman to stand for now, is the American way. Is the sense of individualism, is the sense that you yourself are free to do with your life what you wish. Without that, what else? Superman stands for truth, justice, and getting you to trust the government so you listen to do, what they say, and do what they say all of the time. Granted, there's some golden age stories and some silver age stories where you would think that that is exactly what Superman wants. Maybe we'll touch upon those sometime. But these characters are bigger than the writer. That's why we get mad when Brian Michael Bendis comes in and decides that Krypton wasn't destroyed by just an act of nature. It was Rogal 4 or whatever his name was.
They're retconning things that don't mean to retcon. Yeah. What's the point of that?
The whole point, and somebody a long time ago tried to retcon Batman's death to make it so Wayne Thomas and Martha Kent were actually targeted by assassins, and that's why they were killed. That, in my opinion, changes Batman's core, because it's the randomness of the crime that makes it so impactful. If they're doing something and they are hired, an assassin is hired to murder them, it doesn't make them just Joe on the street, which Batman has decided Bruce Wayne decided he's going to become Batman to make sure that that doesn't happen to anyone else. That was why Batman is there. And unfortunately, you get people who go, ha, I've got a great idea. I'm going to change this forever and never in a day. Yeah. And they just don't understand the character. Go on ahead.
I've come across that, and I forgot what I was. Either it was the Batman, the Telltale game, or I forgot where I was reading, or one of the animations. But they said that, like, basically they hinted that Joe Chill was hired by Carmine Falcone because Thomas Wayne was a dirty surgeon. No, he was in bed with the Falcones. You know,
yeah, that we found that out in the video game.
I think that's a Telltale game.
Yeah, I love the Telltale games. I have not yet played them because I want to play them for the channel. I just have to. I got my what is it called, an Elgato or something.
The thing is that I will. In fact, it's a video game. It's an Elseworld. I'll let it slide because there's other things that are changed there too, and that's what it is. Now, if you're doing the main continuity though, and you're changing this, well, this is now the new norm. It's like now Tim's always been gay. It's like that is just lazy and that's offensive. That is just stupid.
Well, yeah, Tim is a different animal. I said this before. I'll say it again. Tim is a different animal than Jonathan Kent. We never knew Jonathan Kent. I'm accepted. I can accept the Jonathan Kent thing. One thing I do not like that I see when they change a character's sexuality is they no longer act like the character.
No.
Iceman has 60 years of history of acting a certain way. As soon as they made him gay, he no longer acted like Iceman. And that is something that is incredibly bad. Now, let me go over this. I found it on, I found the information on Bounding Into Comics, and I do know some people have a problem with it. I don't mind Bounding Into Comics because they link you to the story. In this case, it was, I believe, a live stream with Ethan Van Sciver, but they've also got a, they transcripted it so we can go over what he said and everything. A lot of this I agree with. If you don't agree with all of it, by all means, that's why we've got the chat going on. And yes, I do occasionally turn to the chat. But let's see. I heard the colorist on Son of Kal-El is quitting. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that in just a little bit. That was Untold Legends of Batman, not Lynn Wine's finest hour, says Eric Breen. Eric, come on, jump in. Let's see. Zach Richmond. Who were we talking about? Right. No longer act like the character is. Yeah, that's the sad thing about it. If Iceman was always gay, then Iceman should be acting like Iceman, but he's gay.
Look at Gail Simone did the Red Sonja, and now ever since then, no matter who's writing her, even Dan Abnett, she's all about sex now. It's like she never was about that before. Well, getting drinking in like that.
That happened with Starfire. That happened with Starfire in Red Hood. People thought that because, I guess because of the costume, she was over sexualized, and they did that in Red Hood. She never was. She was never she was like an overheated, she didn't heat or anything. I'm really trying to talk loud and fast and cover this because Gail fell asleep and she is snoring like a sea lion right now.
But I understand what you're saying though, because in New 52 they made Starfire basically like what was it? Trying to think of it's basically the girl from American Pie, the foreign exchange student.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah.
And just wants to have sex.
That's her entire thing now, or,
like,
or at least it was in the New 52. Okay, let me read
Shannon Elizabeth, that's her name is. Yeah, I was trying to remember what her name was.
Shannon Elizabeth, yeah.
Yeah. We can't hear it. We can't hear Gail, so don't worry about it.
Okay, that's good because I don't want that to be on the mic. She's sweet. We were out all day. Oh, the little thing is she's so tired.
No, my new microphone. If my brother was here and he's sleeping in the other room, you could hear it. It sounds like a bear.
That's funny.
Like, it's other side of the house. It's funny how he just has that octave for his nasal. I was like, how do you do that?
Yeah, Gail can be that way. All right, so Superman, Son of Kal-El, colorist Gabe Eltab to exit DC Comics. It says, after learning of DC Comics' recent decision to drop the American way from Superman's classic motto, Superman, Son of Kal-El, colorist Gabe, we already said the name, has announced that he will not seek to renew his contract. This is absolutely ignorant, and what's worse is it shows an ignorance of what the American way is. And I truly believe that's one of the biggest curses that have struck media, is the misunderstanding and flat out lies of what America is actually all about. When the worst is when I hear somebody say, "Oh, America was founded on oppression and slavery." No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. And look, I'm not saying that America didn't have its flaws in the past, but that wasn't what it was founded on. It was founded on the idea that you as an individual can govern your own lives. The entire United States, the reason why we're called the United States isn't because we're one big country, is because kind of in certain ways, we're 50 different countries. We're Florida and Wisconsin should not be governed the same, because what's good for Florida might not be what's good for Wisconsin. So the governing starts your house, your community, your town, your city, your county, your and it goes out to federal. It's the idea that the individual can govern themselves, and that is the great experiment. That was never done before.
Yep.
So that's America, and what you get are people here like this, these dumbasses who decided that the American way isn't good enough, that they think that that you cannot achieve. I'm sorry, but there is no other country that has the Constitution. The Constitution is the most makes this the most kick-assing country in the world. And I say kick-ass, not kiss-ass.
And I'll just say this: they say that the American way. The reason why do people want to come to America? If America sucks, why are people dying to come here in troves?
So it goes on to say, appearing on October 13th YouTube live stream hosted by Ethan Van Sciver, a former contracted DC employee, as we all know. He says, I'm finishing out my contract with DC. I'm tired of this crap. I'm tired of ruining these characters. They don't have the right to do this. Legally, yes, of course. DC Comics can hire somebody to do whatever the hell they want. We understand that. So put down your freaking keyboards, jackasses who watch up to a certain point so they can go, well, actually, we know that. Okay? There's a bigger issue here. The bigger issue is, like I said before, these are characters who now belong to the world. You show the Superman emblem, people know who it is. You show the Wonder Woman emblem, people know who it is. Even with the money that the Avengers movies made, I would actually bet that Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are the 3 most popular superheroes in the world. Maybe you put Spider-Man above Wonder Woman. Maybe. So it goes on at Comic-Con in 2009. I was pushing Jerry Robinson's wheelchair around the prominent DC colorist recalled, and he says, that's the man who invented the Joker. I would work the DC booth back then. I remembered bending down to his face and telling him, thank you for creating these characters so people like me can waltz in and get a job. It's not about gay or anything else. Turning to the specific subject of Superman's motto, Al-Tab asserted, what really pisses me off was the saying truth, justice, and a better world. F that. It was truth, justice, and the American way. My grandpa almost died in World War II. Mine did too. We don't have the right to destroy the crap that people died for us or for to give us. It's a bunch of effing nonsense. He added, they call us bigots and racist and crap. I would ask them, find me a mainstream, not one of the fringes, one effing book, one effing t-shirt, one movie that says leftism is bad and conservative is good. Find it for me. They effing won't. They're not letting people have a voice, and they're effing bigots, which we understand. Dan Slott has labeled me by name for being a racist, never met me, never talked to me. Not once. And most of the people who chain block you would never give you the time of day for you to explain your point. Do you know how I know this? Because I have put feelers out for years. Come here and debate. Come here and talk to us. Why don't we get to know each other before we start throwing barbs and yelling so we could actually explain our sides and our point?
Because it's easier to, I'll just say it's real quickly. It's really easier to say something online, and then when someone challenges you and you don't know, you don't look like an idiot, you quickly block them. Because you don't. Most of the people that are just going spouting off on Twitter do not know what they're talking about. So when they get confronted by something, they hyperventilate like, oh, no one's ever done this before to me. I don't. How do I deal with this? How do I do a debate? Because they don't do debates. There's no practice debates anymore. These people are divas. They've been spoiled since childhood, and just even in the industry. And now there's a hive mind. At first, I thought, well, maybe I always want to give people the benefit of doubt. When it comes to writers, maybe they're just towing the line because they want to have a job. It's real hard to keep a job right now, and especially in Hollywood or any form of media. But I see the way some of my actor now. It's like Marvel, DC don't care. It's like unless you're like Gina Carano pointing out their bullshit, you know. Yeah, I'm at the point where now it's like, you want to mouth on Twitter? Go ahead. See all your anti-American stuff. Go ahead and do that. But if you're gonna put this in the book, and you're upset because no one's buying it, that's your own dumb fault.
Yep. Don't
blame people for who are tired of seeing your ideologies shoved over everybody else's, and the fact that they offend the whole community, straights, gays. They offend people because they don't know how to associate with other people.
Well, that's their belief. But I will guarantee you that I just realized I've got Three's Company chest opening shirt here. Let me toss.
I couldn't see because you got such a small window. So.
There you go. So anyway, this channel has gay viewers, it has black viewers, it has Latino viewers, Asian viewers, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
They are not.
Panelist.
Say again.
Just raised my hand and said foreign panelist here.
There you go. So the thing is they're not. They believe they're speaking for, and this is one of the things that we got on to Mark Waid for being the white savior. Tom Taylor's doing it right now. They're not speaking for everyone, and more to the point, they're silencing the voices that don't agree with them. Let me get some here. Trey saying media got people believing America is the worst country in the world, and I'm over it. Why can't it be inspired, and why can't we have inspirational heroes? Superman should be the absolute 100% most inspirational hero around, bar none. Let's see. As they profit off the American way, it's outrageous, says Emerald. Yeah, you always get the people who are saying we're against capitalism as we practice it. Let's see. And I'm over the Superman is an alien, so he's not from America. That's the dumbest take. If anybody ever does that, that is the most ignorant take on Superman ever. They used to do that in the 70s too. This isn't a new thing, but yeah, he's a Kansas boy. Let me continue here because I really want to show off a couple of things as well. How do I make you're the computer guy. How do I make the screen bigger?
Hold down the control key and then hit the plus sign.
The control and the plus. Okay. Because the plus, here it is. Okay. I want to show off this because this was what turned me off of the Tom Taylor book right here. So we see a bunch of illegal immigrants coming over, and Superboy sees it. Hey! And we see a border agent doing their job. Place your hands behind your back, and Superboy comes in, commits a crime, by the way. Yep. Destroys the handcuffs, frees a person who is being arrested. The cop says, son, there are cameras watching. I appreciate what you've done here today, and these people will be looked after. But you need to understand there's a process. These people need help, not handcuffs. You know what? The man's doing his freaking job. You are the villain. One of the things that was great about Superman is he understood that humans need to be humans. People need to do this. But Superboy here, through Tom Taylor, because let's face it, this is actually Tom Taylor. This isn't Superboy. This isn't John Kent. It's Tom Taylor. Decides that he is going to tell you what the moral truth is. But this guy goes no restraints. And I would understand why, because if Superboy decides to go, if he decides to go dictator, sure, some superheroes are going to come in and stop him, but that won't stop Superboy from doing whatever he wants to the police that are around here. It's a horrible, horrible take on the character. What's worse is this one right up here. I want to read off this dialogue. He says, here, I want you to watch something. It's an underground stream called The Truth. They report what others are too afraid to. Really, and what would that be? Would it be the exact message that's going on in every TV show? What the government's trying to push on you? Is it the mainstream message? Nobody's afraid to say that, you ignorant ass, Tom Taylor. No, you are not being brave. You're telling everybody exactly what the mainstream media is. YouTube will not delete your freaking video for telling people what goddamn Joe Biden wants you to know. But if you have a problem, then you've got to worry about being kicked out. Tom Taylor sitting on a freaking pitcher's mound, think he's at the top of a freaking mountain yelling to people who are already there. It's like that episode of Simpsons. Remember when she walks into the football field? I'm here to play. Yes, a girl. And what was it? Flanders goes, oh, good. We got 2 already. That's Tom Taylor. So anyway, he says, I have to go, but you're the son of Lois Lane. She's dedicated her life to exposing corruption and injustice. Of course, you feel like you should do more. And Superboy says, I know I do. I just don't want to overstep and make people nervous. And whoever this guy is says, there are some people in this world who could do with being a little bit nervous. What do you want that symbol to stand for? And he says, truth, justice, and a better world. He says, I just want to help. And the kid goes, good. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you get brought into a cult. Somebody who's lost, doesn't exactly know their own identity. Someone comes along and says, I'll show you the truth. I actually had a friend. He dropped me, stopped being my friend because I'm a conservative. And he found friendship with a whole bunch of communists. So he would say something and I would just break it down. He literally told me he got mad because I had an answer for everything. And I tried telling him it's because I've heard this before. Communism is nothing new, gang. It's been around for a long damn time, and it has never been good. Socialism the same.
You know what's funny? First of all, that's supposed to be Damian, but it sounds more like
it's Damian Wayne.
Yeah, because he's on because what he's doing is currently in Joshua Williamson's run. He's on the island fighting the whole for the Lazarus games.
Damian Wayne would not be a no. I'm sorry.
But I was gonna say I was just watching Why the Last Man, the latest episode, and we read the comics. We know the Amazons. They're a cult. Women basically, and they really show it in the show. As far as they take one step further, where the main leader, she pretended to be a cop. She was originally just a Target employee who was upset that she was not a manager. So when she basically went to a squad car, pushed in the river down there, took the uniform, the badge, and then he was killing people. And it killed like 4 women who came in the store. Basically. Anyway, so she was duping, lying to these battered women survivors, and basically was trying to say like, oh, men are the problem. Like, and the one mother came in and she's like, men are gone. Why are you getting so riled up? Because she's the whole cult mentality. If you're not there, she actually killed a girl who ran away, who didn't want to be part of the cult anymore. And that's kind of what you're seeing right now. It's like, it's the whole brainwashing stuff. Damian would never say that. Damian is anti-organization. He came from the League of Assassins. I don't know. And the whole Jonathan Kent thing, I think Batman would one punch him.
Probably. Okay, so it says, speaking to El Tabes, I don't know if I'm saying it wrong. I apologize if I am. Appearance on his channel, Skyver says, Gabe just exploded on my live stream. He had a lot to say, a lot of feelings, and a lot of thoughts that he wasn't able to share because he was working for DC. And that's the reality. You cannot come out and be a conservative and criticize the company that you work for in this way. You have to be completely supportive of the corporate agenda, whatever it is. You have to keep your negative or critical opinions to yourself. And it's so liberating to be able to not work for DC Comics and to be able to say exactly what you think. And I think that's what Gabe is going through here. And that's why a lot of people do turn to the crowdfunding comics. And whether or not you like what they're doing, whether or not you agree, or I know a lot of people don't like Ethan Van Sciver. A lot of people don't like what's going on in Comicsgate with, and they didn't since the War Machine or War, what was it? War Machine, War Campaign. Yeah. So I know, I understand that. Yeah. They're not the only game in town either. You don't have to go to them to do your own book. Look at Tim Lim. A lot of people like Tim Lim and Mark for their work ethic. They get their books out on time. They're not construed by what DC or Marvel is saying. A lot of people are going to Image Comics. A lot of people are going to Dynamite Comics and IDW. Some people see, with Heather Antos in some of those places.
Look at Boom Studios.
Nobody's going to Valiant anymore. But point being is, I'm seeing a lot of people jump ship. And what's worse is Marvel and DC do superhero comics. Occasionally they'll put in something else, but when you're dealing with and what's kind of funny is I've got 3 right here. When you're dealing with independent comics, people are finding out there's so many different stories. I mean, it's not just the superhero stuff. You literally can find a story about anything. You can find anything. So when you step away from Marvel and DC, you kind of open the door to a bigger show. So there you go. Let's see. Is that it? Yeah. What do you make of it? Let's see. Is there a... Well, they ask for comments, but they don't have any comments. So, oh, here it is. Yeah, nobody said anything about it. What do we got? Working your dream job only to see it fall apart around you must have been painfully. Yeah, I think that's something for anybody. DC superhero colorist in 2021. He was probably tired of working mainly in pinks and pastels. Yeah, that's kind of funny. It's frustrating as a fan. It's frustrating to me to think that Jim Lee is one of the people in charge of DC Comics. We know Jim Lee is one of the best artists to have graced the comic book hobby. So how is it he cannot see what is good and bad art? How? I don't get it. Jeff Johns was in creative control. How is it that they can't recognize good writing anymore? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense the path that is being taken by DC Comics anymore, or Marvel. To tell you the truth.
No, the colorist quit Tree Rocks Creations for the Tom Taylor book, the new with Jonathan Kent.
Yeah, I put writer. That's my bad. I'll change it on the thumbnail. I'll figure something else out. But
yeah, the colorist isn't the only person. It's just that this is the first person since they made Jonathan Kent gay. I think that's more relevant now because it's a big book right now. It's a big deal. But I'm sure there's been more people who have quit, have not really went out and spoken out. But this is more refreshing. I think more people who are upset about this should come out and speak out, but they're afraid because who's going to hire you if you're making waves at this company here? They're afraid that this whole mindset, as far as what DC and Marvel are doing, is going to trickle into the other companies. It's a plague. It's crap, and it's scary right now. When you're not, you can't do what you want to do. As far as like, you want to work comics, you want to be an actor, you have to toe the line. It's so much easier just to be quiet and just keep your head down.
I stopped collecting Batman because it's too expensive.
Well, yeah, that too.
I stopped collecting. I was so excited to get Mr. Miracle. I was so excited to actually get Milestone Comics. And I read the first few and I stopped collecting. I stopped collecting those for the horrible messaging. There's so many at DC. I used to be the DC guy. Seriously, I'm a DC guy, and they have. I said this when I saw that convention they had, where basically they had on all the gay writers, artists, and so forth and so on, and they were talking, and I made that quote. I told everybody, DC is now going to start heading down the same street Marvel was when we were making videos about Marvel. Mm-hmm. And I said, and DC is going to go harder than Marvel ever did, because on that panel, they literally said, wherever there is a question, they will queer up that character. Think about that. Wherever there is so if they're, and they don't care. I mean, with Tim Drake, they showed, because with Tim Drake, there's not a question. He's been a heterosexual for 30 years. Jonathan Kent, like I said, that's different. There you go. That was a question mark.
I'm shocked.
Tim Drake had no question mark by his name.
I'm shocked they did not go after like Damian Wayne and they chose Tim. They figured, oh, Tim knows he's not really that relevant right now because no one really knows him except for the but because the new readers.
I wouldn't go Damian.
Well,
Wayne
no,
either.
I would say Damian's
young.
being more used than Tim. I'd say currently the past 10, 12 years.
Damian Wayne is too young. You would, I think that would be. They're afraid that if they did that, because you got to think, as it was being said by Black Lotus, it seems like it's a bunch of people who really don't pay attention, like they're the upper, even higher than Jim Lee, are making decisions. And if you do this story with a young child, maybe it could be construed as something different. So,
well, the way they draw Damian's like what, 16 now?
15,
the way they draw him,
I think. Maybe 15.
Yeah, because when Super Sons, they were kids. They were like 12, 13.
Yeah,
you know.
Damian was 13 and John was 10.
Yeah.
Oh, because Damian is part Middle Eastern, so yeah, we know what happens there. America sucks. Yeah,
that doesn't happen in DC because everyone's loved.
Right. DC Comics making that BS statement that if someone associated with Comicsgate, then you're blacklisted from DC Comics, makes me want to associate myself with Comicsgate just to get blacklisted, says Tree Rock. That is kind of weird. Like, why? It reminds me of that one quote with Tyrion. I'm going to get it wrong. Tyrion from Game of Thrones, where he says, you cut out a man's tongue, you don't silence him, you just tell the world you're afraid what he has to say. To me, if I didn't know what Comicsgate was and I heard that, I'd be like, really? Why? And I would go over and I would try to find out what they said. But unfortunately, the people who would listen to that aren't me. They're not you. You would do the same. You would be like, really? I've got to go check that out for myself. Other people would go, well, why are they doing this? Because they're hateful bigots. They hate women and they want gays to die. And they would go, oh, okay, well, I'll just jump on the bandwagon then.
Like I said, I'm slowly trying to be optimistic as far as this, because so much crap we've been suffering. You know, when it comes back like 2016 was Rebirth. It came back, it was great. Oh, and then all of a sudden it's just like, nope, sorry.
Oh my gosh, to feel like we did when Rebirth came out, would that not be awesome? You know, when we're reading books and we're going, holy crap. Even Tom King was getting praised with Batman. There was so much we were going, oh, wow. Flash was awesome. Super Sons, well, that came a little bit later.
Flash is still awesome.
Aquaman was awesome. Batman was all right. I like Nightwing up until they shot him in the head. And I'm Rick. It is so much good comes out of Rebirth. And then it just, Bendis is coming. Oh, really? That means we can up now? Yeah, okay. You know.
Yeah, the few books I said I was reading. Well, look at the books that get canceled. Hawkman, I didn't get a chance to read it, but I'm getting more into Hawkman.
Is one of the best books of the last decade.
Dan Jurgens had a 50-issue book, Batman Beyond, and that was better than the Batman titles.
Yeah, I remember you really jumped in on Batman Beyond.
So they got rid of Batman Beyond. That was one of my 3 books I was getting. Catwoman has been good. It's been better than That's now they're kicking Ram V off. Ram V's leaving. They're gonna have.
I know. We were so in love with Rebirth, and the first chance, what was it? Jeff Johns left to do movies, and Dan Didio was like, "Okay, hold on, we got to get this." And it was just, oh my gosh, it was so.
My point is, I've been down to 2 main books I was continuously buying off the shelf because every issue's been good. It's been solid. Flash is the only book that's still going strong, and I'm worried because whenever something's good I like, it gets gone,
Okay, so, I want to talk about.
So don't praise Engeltine.
What?
Don't praise Flash.
I want to talk. Oh yeah, I know, right? Because the legend goes. Anytime I praise a title, they change the creative team into something you never want to see. Happened with Dan Abnett. Dan Abnett's awesome on Aquaman Guide. You got to check it out. Oh, so Kelly Sue DeConnick's taking over, you say? Holy crap. Superman is one of the greatest. Who's coming? Anytime I would say a book was great, they would change the creative team. Now, Trey Michael, hope I'm sorry if I butchered that, says, at the end of the day, it makes Lois and Clark look like bad parents. Brian Michael Bendis, by the way, made Lois and Clark look like horrible, horrible parents, because he brings them in and they're like, yeah, you know, my maniacal grandfather, I'm going to go off into space with him without parental supervision. Oh, wait, no, Mom, you're coming with us? Okay, not the guy who could lift a planet, but the human. You're going to go come protect me. And then Lois leaves early.
I don't know if it was. I was gonna say this. DC is so cringy and so soft. I don't know if it was Greg Luck as Lois Lane 12-issue miniseries or if it was Bendis, but she had Lois was going to strip down and she's gonna jump in the shower. Who she thought was Clark, it turned out to be her son. Almost got in the shower naked with him. That is cringy and creepy, and that should not even be in a comic book, especially when you have kids who are out there buying these books.
There you go. I don't know what to say about that, man. Master Shooty saying Rebirth was glorious. Let's see. Black Lotus says, after the New 52, Rebirth was like the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah, I will say that. I've said this before. I'll say it again anytime I get a chance. From Crisis on Infinite Earths all the way up to the Flashpoint. That is the greatest run of DC Comics. It was a beautiful 25 years, ladies and gentlemen. I highly recommend you go check that out. When people are talking about how comic books are dying and they say back issues or independent comics, check out DC Comics. You can almost just throw a freaking dart and pick one. Check out DC Comics between that time. George Perez's run on Wonder Woman. You have the Jurgens run on Superman. Holy crap, you had some good stuff.
Started
Miller's Batman Year One was in that period.
Just start at John Byrne, Man of Steel, the miniseries.
There you go.
Work your way up.
Superman.
All the way through Death of Superman, all that stuff. It's
you want some great Superman titles. He's right. Start with John Byrne with Man of Steel. In freaking credible stories.
Yep.
Absolutely. I don't know anybody who argues that or argues against it. Eric Breen says, I guess it took DC until issue 38 to realize Catwoman had a straight white man writing it. Oh, can't have that.
As EBC said, he's Pakistani or Indian. He's not even.
Okie dokie.
And I'm not going to assume his orientations. I don't know.
Englantine's curse holds. He praised Catwoman. Look at who is writing the title now.
Well, you can praise John Byrne as still you want because it's already in print.
Yep. That is that. Yeah, you can't take.
I got it behind me on the wall.
Unfortunately, it's kind of like the vampire thing, where if you're holding a cross, you have to believe in it. Because I've gone, no, Bendis is great. No, you should be reading Bendis. Yeah, it doesn't work. He stayed there for far too long.
Yeah.
And Trey Michael is saying the same thing I've said for a long time. I wish Barry Allen never came back. I thought that Barry Allen was a better martyr, a better ghost than he ever was a hero. Now, and I love the last story. I love the trial of the Flash. I think it's an incredible story, but I think there was more character and Wally West was just a better written Flash.
Yeah, and the fact that I said right now, Flash has been good. Joshua Williamson really brought back the character. I mean, Barry was actually a little bit more like Wally, but it was still from all the way from Rebirth. It's really good. Barry's now off somewhere else, off Universe, because remember they're pushing all the main Justice League members.
Oh, yeah, they're getting rid of everybody to bring in the secondaries.
But the good thing is that I don't mind Wally because Wally's back. He has his family, and he had that originally Mark Waid gave them. Mm-hmm. And it's actually and Jeremy Adams is writing it right now. Took over Joshua Williamson, and he's just been knocking out of the park. That is the only current DC book I recommend. If you like anything there on DC, that's the book to like.
There's Tree of Rock is asking, was it Miracle Man that I liked, or was it Mr. Miracle? I like Mr. Miracle in damn near any incarnation. So when they did this new Mr. Miracle title, I was all right, let's go, let's get him. And it was god awful. I already had a rant the other day about this, but it does start off with him being in outer space, doing a stunt, getting paid by millions of fans who love to see him doing these stunts. And then in the middle, there's a whole section where he rants about white privilege and how he's oppressed. Modern day DC, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. It was freaking ridiculous, and it angered me. It truly, truly angered me. Batman Beyond has been cast aside to the trash, says Undead Quinn. I've been enjoying the Robin run. Oddly enough, what I read of it, I got to admit, I only read the first few because my comic shop decided I can't have it anymore.
The Robin run by Josh Williamson is nothing like what you saw right there with Jonathan Kent. He doesn't talk like that in Josh Williamson's run. That was Tom Taylor basically perverting another person's storyline for his own purposes.
Lord of Villains asking, what's your thoughts on Absolute Carnage, King in Black? That would be your take because I did not read it.
Absolute Carnage was good for the most part. I like what, I mean, Cates is a dick, but I liked what he was world building and what he was doing, what it was actually better than anybody else was doing at the time. Venom, he revitalized Venom, introduced a new, I guess, well, if you hate legacy characters, you're not going to like Dylan, you know, but, I liked it. I mean, I'm not sick and tired of the symbiotes, as some people are, you know, as a Angleton or a Breen, you know, who just hate symbiotes or just bigots towards symbiotes.
Yeah, I
okay, like it.
Just for a little explanation, yes, I'm on record saying I'm tired of Venom. I'm tired of the symbiotes. I read, it was not, but 4 years ago, there was like the 15th symbiote event. And that's the way it is. Like every freaking year now, there seems to be some sort of symbiote event going on at Marvel. Like, okay, we get it. Just leave it alone. God
I skipped all those.
Eric, please. How many years was it from the first time Galactus showed up to the second time? It's not something if you're bringing them in all the time. And there was one where I kid you not. I'm not joking about this. They were carrying around T-shirt guns with symbiotes in them.
You get a symbiote.
You got a symbiote. You got one. You've got one. Ha ha! Boom! Anybody want one? Here they come.
But my thing is with Cates, he's world building. He started off with Thanos, where Thanos wins pretty much that storyline, and he was tying into Thor, and Thor seeing his visions. You know, the only thing I didn't like what Cates did is killing off Galactus, because we've already seen there's repercussions for that.
In heaven, yeah.
That was dumb.
Insult to Marvel Comics past.
Yeah.
What an insult.
But he may have never even read that. Like half the people on writing these things, they probably never.
Comic books were around before 2013.
A lot of them are like my age. I'm 36. They're probably really younger than mine. They probably started reading in 2000. They haven't read anything early or before that. So, and a lot of them think don't realize that Jack Kirby did a lot more than that stuff. You know,
everything that the Flash is and ever was came from Wally West era, more so than Barry Allen. And it's funny that DC tried to go back and retcon it to where Barry Allen. Yeah, that is true. What was his name? Miracle Max or something like that. Max Mercury.
Yes.
Yeah, he came in and taught Wally West how to really be a speedster.
When it's actually Jay is more the person that would teach him and all. But they've been expanding on that. At least, you know, Josh Williamson brought back the whole Flash family. Now, the only thing is that he created more speedsters. You know, he brought in Wallace, which I don't know if that was by his choice or whatever.
That wasn't him. That was before you had to use Wallace.
Was Wallace before? I thought Wallace showed up.
Wallace was New 52.
Oh, okay. So okay. Okay. So okay. Then I don't.
He changed his name to Wallace. Wallace was originally just Wally, but raised Ben.
You know what's really dumb though is the fact that Wallace hasn't been mentioned since like the very beginning of the Flash run, all those years ago, and I guess he's over with being played with by Bendis. I don't know. Bendis is still playing with that character. He was on the Teen Titans or Young Justice or something like that.
He was on the Teen Titans, but I don't think he's used in the Teen Titans anymore.
No, but But apart from that, though, get back to Symbiote. So, I liked what Cates was doing, and as far as world building, because nobody else was. Look outside what Cates is doing. Cates is making Thor awesome again. Go look at Jason Aaron on Avengers. We now have the Phoenix Wars. We're gonna fight to the death to see who gets to be the new Phoenix. Are you freaking kidding me? This is stupid. They got the whole T'Challa speech on there. That was dumb. It's like Avengers. I understand were popular during the early runs, and I guess towards the 80s they weren't as popular. When I'm hearing people, they were just kind of like, eh. But now they're just like, oh my gosh, what is this crap? These aren't Avengers at all. This is just Avengers in name only, unlike a lot of books. So I understand why a lot of people have left Marvel and DC. I was a huge Spider-Man. I got into his comic books around 2003. I got this lucky to get that CD-ROM, the DVD-ROMs, where it has from 1 all the way up to like 2006. So that allowed me to binge read everything, and just get through it all, and then start collecting. It made me a huge Spider-Man fan. But then, like I said, One More Day came, all that crap, and I was like, okay, why am I going to buy any more of this stuff? It's not what I read. So it's
kind of funny that
as soon as I came in, it's gone.
There's a saying: every jumping on point is also a jumping off point.
So
they finish a story, and then okay, we're going to have either the first issue of a new storyline, or we're going to have a first issue. In modern day, they'll just cancel a series and reboot it with a new creative team that you're probably not going to like. Yeah. But they don't realize that New 52 was a great time for me to quit. That was a great time for me to say, you know what, I'm going to take a break from buying comics. I didn't stop reading comics. I just stopped buying the new books. I bought stuff like this one here I show off. Sorry, I was walking by my books earlier and I clipped one and then all of them hit the floor right before the live stream. I buy books like the Marvel Comics Untold Story.
Behind the scenes, yeah.
This is something that was given to me by Eric Breen. These are the kind of things I like to read. You get backstory, you get the stories behind the comics and such like this. I would go to the Digital Comic Museum where they have a whole bunch of Golden Age books. I managed to pick up a DVD set some guy was selling on iForm. I'm absolutely 100% sure they were pirated. I did not know that at the time. Now I do. But I picked up everything, like literally everything. And I just started reading back issues, just having a great time. I jumped back in because I lost my job at Universal. And I thought, I don't want to be fired again. I don't want to be, so I need to be my own boss, start up a YouTube channel, start up an eBay channel. So that's why I used to say, this is the way I'm trying to make a living. There is a way out. Marvel and DC are not the be all end all. They're not even the be all end all now because independent comic books, there are some really kick-ass comics out there.
A lot of companies are making money too because they're not doing the movies as well, Marvel has Disney money, so they're doing that. So, I mean, if Disney decided, you know what, we don't want to do the comics anymore, I wouldn't be that sad, and you know why? Because it's what am I going to miss? I have back issues. I don't see them ever doing that though. Right now they have the MCU. It's really funding their money. I think once the MCU's done, they might clean house, they might change things. It all really depends what the politics are right now because everything is being pushed into everything. But
this is old, by the way. So woo, I can smell the dust. A lot of it's on other things, but here you go. That's Adventure Comics right here. And this is New Comics, New Fun Comics, Adventure Comics 32 through 96, 97 through 319, 320 through 503, 504 through 526. And let's see, Batman 1 through 713 and all 28 annuals. And then they had a set of the Batman series and all that kind of stuff and miniseries. So yeah, I ended up buying this for like 20 or 30 bucks.
Nice.
It was freaking everything. I managed, yeah. And after that, I was like, okay, we're off to the races. I made the labels myself.
I was gonna say, I was like, it actually has a comic books on there. I'm like, and
No. I made the labels because they were they were on blank CDs. So I made the labels.
And if you
myself.
lose, or just.
I just wanted to make sure. Oh yeah, you like Daredevil? Here's the Golden Age Daredevil. You know, so this. Why would I ever? It's like, why would I ever put myself through what's going on right now? When, yeah, name a title. Name one. It's in here somewhere. You know, it's like I don't know. It just
Tales of Terror #5.
Thor. Okay, there we go. All right.
Is that Jason Aaron? Oh, you're gone.
No. It's not. It's not that far up. It's not that far up.
But
these are up to about 10 years ago when comics were good. What you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what right now. I mean, I've got, so like I said, I was more mainly Marvel stuff. I was buying Thor's. We had Siege going on, which is probably the best time for Marvel when that was Siege was going on. You could have like, if Eric said this too, and I agree with Eric. You could have ended Marvel right there. You could have just said, "No, we're done" after Siege, because that was a perfect end to everything. You know, you didn't need to continue. But I stopped reading comics for about till 2019. So the end of Siege till 2019 is when I kind of dabbled back in because I got your channel. I was like, okay, he's talking about some books that are so good. I walked in my LZS store and I was like, hey, what's up? He's like, oh my gosh, you're alive. I'm like, yeah, sorry. You kind of feel like sheepish. Like, I know I haven't been buying.
I like this. We know what to grab when Gale finally snaps and unalives E. I like that. Because one day she will. Let's face it. I don't think anybody is going to come to my defense either. It'll be like, why? Nope. It'll be we've seen the videos. We understand why she killed him.
But I agree with the chat. They're saying New 52 sucks. I was just getting into reading Green Lantern. I'm like, oh yeah, I met Carol, the relationship, and then she says, I don't want to be with you, and then she starts banging Kyle.
Isn't that nice?
I was like, what is it? Because we're in a break, and then Hal's like, you know what? I'm gonna finally mature, I'm gonna grow up and stuff. And she's like, yeah, I don't trust you. And by the way, I'm also banging your friend Kyle. He's younger.
Well, Kyle is a big old bitch, biggest.
And then they made Kyle. Kyle is like, I can control every power of the lanterns, every color.
Yeah,
I'm the Jesus. Are you freaking kidding me? Not only is he banging Hal's girlfriend, he's also like better than Hal. Like Hal was, I that's why I look at it. It's like Hal should always be the better one to me because he's the leader, you know. Instead, they make him into the joke, constantly into the joke. They won't, you know. In order to make Kyle and John better, they have to crap on Hal, and then they crap on John to make Kyle better.
They would always crap on Hal. I think John's first JLA appearance had Hal slip on soap.
Yep.
Eric, could you confirm? Like the first adventure John Stewart had with the Justice League, it was because Hal tripped on soap in his bathroom while showering, and John had to take over.
Let's see.
I still wish
her hover around haunts England's dream.
I still wish it was the same way where John didn't want to be a Green Lantern. He's just kind of like, now he's like, oh, I'm gung ho, I'm the better leader and all this stuff. It's like John never really wanted that. You know.
No. I'm pretty much spent on the whole thing. It's like you know what the best thing about what's going on right now with DC and Marvel?
That you're not buying it right now. You're saving money.
That I feel reinvigorated, and it's like, okay, let's put on. It's like the it's like that like the Incredibles or something, you know, where he goes in, he puts on the old super suit, and it only fits right to here. You know, that's the way I'm feeling. It's like, okay, we're back in business. Let's have some fun with this shit.
Yeah.
You know, that's the best thing about it. Look, we got it. Eric Breen's been saying this for years. Buy back issues. We've got stuff to talk about as far as bad comics. Superboy is just so much to talk about with this because there's so many layers to how wrong Tom Taylor is about Superboy, and it's so many layers as to how the woke crowd is wrong about what heroism is. It's understandable when you when you see what they have done in the past, to think that the great thing that Superboy could do is to fly down into a crowd of people who just want the law to be enforced. And he goes, no, you guys are wrong for wanting the law to be enforced. You understand where he's coming from because you understand the woke crowd who created that. Thank you very much to Nolan Nerd. He says, I'm enjoying the new E. Whoop that trick, get him. It's not the new. It's the old one's woken up again.
It's like he decided, I don't want to be PC anymore. I'm going back to where I was.
Well, here's the thing. I do have a channel where I talk about comics, where literally I love, I titled that for two reasons. One, because I truly do love comics. And two, I'm not that very creative with titles. And so I said, I love comics. But with Old Man Comics, I decided that is going to be about the books, about the characters. And here we're going to be talking about what's going on with them, basically what we were doing before. And we will still have our shows on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. The comic book reading, I don't care. It doesn't get a lot of views, but you know what? It's a hell of a lot of fun. It really is just a hell of a lot of fun. Plus, you say you know the first appearance of Punisher. Yeah, but really, when was the last time you read it? Come on in and check it out. We'll actually enjoy some of these great back issues. Last week, we did... what did we do last week?
We did Dracula, I believe.
No, that was the week before. We did the Tomb of Dracula. And we did the Creature Commandos last week.
Yes, with General Mortis again.
And the first appearance of the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, and the first appearance of the Crypt Keeper. You're right. The first Tales from the Crypt, because we're doing villains and Halloween stuff, and it's just a lot of fun to read these old
Tales of Terror. Yeah.
So check that out. On Saturday, we do the auction. On Sunday, we do Jeopardy, which, yes, I need players. So come on in. You can win prizes and such. So, yeah.
Those who are playing are living inside the United States, you're eligible to get a prize.
That is true. Yep. I've been giving away trade paperbacks and hardcovers.
So even like, you play this for bragging rights, but man, like you won 3 times.
Like, I know it's kind of funny that I'm doing an entire freaking live stream right now that basically could be titled Tom Taylor, and one of the prizes is a Tom Taylor book. But you know what? No, this isn't a Tom Taylor book. This is a Mike Miller book. That's who this. That's what this is.
Yeah,
I think Mike Miller left by this time.
No, he's right there. Look. Yeah.
All right.
So screw that first name. You see that name on the bottom there? That's why this book is awesome. So there you go.
Like I said, Tom Taylor's a dick, but when he writes Elseworlds, he's fine. But like the fact that they're making an Elseworld book, the main continuity right now, is dumb.
There you go. And this was also.
Yes, that is the Rebirth Flash. That's Fables.
Fables is an incredible book.
Yeah.
And freaking incredible book.
Speaking of which, issue 2 of Batman Big Big Wolf came out today.
Oh, yeah. I actually like that. I've been liking that story. You going to go get Ashley? Yeah. Okay. Be safe, honey.
Yep.
Love you.
You know, Glinzer, that's on my list. The first appearance of Moon Knight in Werewolf by Night, you know, because October. Moon Knight, I personally love reading as either as Batman or Moon Knight, because they're just so much fun.
Oh, you know what? I did the first appearance of Moon Knight, and as a comic book origins, I would love to do the first appearance of Moon Knight first appearance of Midnight on a reading. I think that would be awesome. Eric is our narrator, and anytime we need a gruff voice. One thing we have been told, though, is if we do Dr. Doom, it has to be MK. If you guys have ever heard MK speak, the man sounds like he is permanently on reverb. So he definitely
He's
fits
got
on
that
yeah.
that was that Stanton Island, New York accent.
Yeah, he definitely does. Yeah, he sounds like every enforcer for the mob that has been in any kind of Martin Scorsese movie. Yellow Spider-Man says, I got some Jeopardy questions and category ideas. englandteen@gmail.com. That's how, please do that. As a matter of fact, some of the questions that were on last Sunday's Jeopardy were written by Jim Sorensen. So by all means, englandteen@gmail.com. Send along your questions and such that you would like to see on the show. Obviously, they're not going to be on one that you play.
Morania also, she could come with 2 boards already, so she's going to be Englandteen's actually going to be playing this
I'm
Sunday.
going to defend my books, basically. But yeah, that would be a great time. Does anyone else think Tom Taylor looks especially like the lead singer of Smash Mouth?
That's insulting to the guy.
And by the way, Lord of Villains, Maestro, freaking incredible. But look, we have sung the praises of Peter David up and down this channel. Peter David is a really good writer. He delivers.
Like I said, right now, that's one of the
Maestro is awesome.
I've been reading the Symbiote Spider-Man, which is Peter David, and Peter David is still knocking out of the park. I mean, I don't really care for the Gregorian art, but it's Peter David. It's not filtered Peter David. It's 100% Peter David.
Hold on. Thanks for showing up, Master Chudy. Anytime you've got a decent mic to work out and some time to be on the stream, come on back, man. It's been a while.
Like I said,
sorry to interrupt.
No. It's your channel. You can interrupt me whenever you want to.
Well, I wanted to, I like to tell people when they say they're leaving, have a good time, be safe, that whole thing. So there you go. Back issues are where it's at. Picked up my Commandy. Still got a few more, so I'm teaching for the month to pay for it out in the Weird War Tales run. Got to get those the Creature Commandos.
I found the Brave and the Bold is Batman and Sergeant Rock, which I never even knew they crossed over.
No, yeah.
that is kind of cool. It's like, because I know Sergeant Rock has been other things, but I just never knew he was in a Brave and the Bold issue with Batman.
Wish Maestro would appear in the MCU issues. Buy up those Future Imperfects just in case.
Wouldn't be the one that
crazy speculators.
I could say it wouldn't be the version that they had in Old Man Logan, the one that was incest. Wouldn't be that one.
Right? Yeah, that was weird. Tom Taylor, by
but
the
then
way,
again, it could be.
Tom Taylor does have a very smug and punchable face. I do agree with that.
Who would you rather hit, Tom King or Tom Taylor?
Taylor.
Or Brian Michael Bendis?
Ooh. Brian Michael Bendis might be too much like punching a thinner mirror. One of those fun houses mirror that make you look skinny, because I am fatter than
for
Brian
you. It needs to be punching yourself.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. If me and Brian might see, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. Tom King, I really don't have a problem with, because Tom King has never said anything bad, never really done anything like that, at least in our direction. Brian Michael Bendis, I don't like his writing, but the man could be a sweetheart. Tom Taylor, I've seen what he said, and he's one, as Undead Quinn says, smug and punchable individual. So I have more of a problem with Tom Taylor than I do. But if I'm going to line people up to actually physically assault, and I never would do that, and this is not a threat, Tom Taylor ain't going to be the first one in line.
Oh, let's add one more to the list. Dan Slott.
That would be the first one in line. I will treat him. I'll pray to God that freaking roly-poly shape of his would make him like a Weeble, where I could just poof, and he would fall back and then pop back up. Poof, make that boy
pop back up and crushy.
Yeah,
football onto you.
He'd be like, boom, boom. Yeah. I swear to gosh, if you get me into a ring with him, and I will make him my hobby. It would be a long and
Dan Slott's the kind of guy who would probably eat your food on you and say that you ate it.
He'll be the guy with the yogurt that says Karen on it, going, "No, I'm not the one who stole it."
And you're watching right now. He's like, "It says my name on there. My name's Karen."
This, well, this is yogurt. It could use a pound of sugar. Hey, Nerdy, what's up? How's it going? Let's see. I read Maestro Marvel Art. That was a great read. It really is. In these miniseries, he's been kind of going and doing the prequel basically, and it's been awesome.
Nerdy, you need to come on the channel. I know you're in the channel time. I know whenever you have free time, come on. Even come on with read us. We want people to read with us too. When we
yeah, that would be great.
That is fun.
We could use a female voice on Fridays. Hey, actually, here's something. Here's something. Well, yes, I know, but we need more. Thank you.
I know.
Here's something, guys. Nerdy's here. We had talked in an email about me going onto her channel, and she said, "What are you an expert of?" Now, I don't know this because I'm more of a general practitioner. I know a lot about everything when it comes to comics, but I don't know, but I don't know everything about anything. You know, I'm not a specialist. I'm a general practitioner. So what would you think would be a good subject for me and Nerdy to talk about if I were to go on her channel?
I would say Batman. I know she's a huge Batman fan.
And by the way, also please in the chat answer that question, because I would love to hear that. Because when she asked me, I was like, I'm not so like I'm horrible at the back pats. If I ever do it, it's jokingly. So I don't exactly know what that would be. The history of Marvel and DC Comics I'm good at. Definitely, if you wanted to talk about the changes in characters and such, I've been doing this now for 6 years, talking about what's a good change, what's a bad change, what's a narrative one versus one for shock reasons. Not a jack of all trades. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jack of all trades. Yeah, thank you for it. Yes, but I would love to hear what you guys would think. And Nerdy's saying, I do think you guys forget they all had a past that were really good books. Englentine, come on next Tuesday.
Well, yeah, we pointed out Tom Taylor is good at Elseworlds, but his the way he acts on social media is so smug, and Kate's all of them, they're all divas. And then,
as a matter of fact, I just held up one of his books that I like. Injustice. I think these are excellent. But if you're tired of Tom Taylor, there's also, and I pointed out, there's another reason to get into it.
I mean, so, Deceased is a good series too, and I was people don't like it. It was the better Marvel Zombies.
Dan Slott personally insulted me, but I would highly recommend his She-Hulk run. Doesn't change the fact that his She-Hulk run was a lot of fun, that it was good.
Yeah,
I know that they did some good books. Some of them did anyway.
Yeah.
But okay, Tuesday. That'd be great. Okay. Let's see. Did you guys get your hands on Freddy versus Jason versus Ash? And it's I got I read the first one a long time ago. I
had both. And I gotta say it is way better than Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
It's sad that they didn't have the Ash there, because Ash adds that specific element to it. And the fact you're also bringing in the Necronomicon into Freddy's possession, so Freddy can become into the real world. He can put everyone to sleep using the Necronomicon. That is freaky, you know. Spoilers, we got off for the first one, but Jason becomes smarter when he uses the Necronomicon.
Huh.
So he's not the kind of.
I don't remember that one. It's been a long time since I read it. So.
But I mean, it's like, you know, and you got Ash, who's just like, why me? It's just like, I was just happy and fun, had a girlfriend, and then he starts seeing Deadites, and then he loses his girlfriend, she dumps him, and he's just stuck, you know, trying to protect snotty, you know, stupid teenagers who are going to care about fornication. He's like, can you imagine if you were stuck in like one of these, you know, sleepaway camp with all these idiots, and then there's a murder coming? You're like, you guys can, I'm leaving. You guys can stay here. But yeah, it's a fun story, and it just sucks that it was supposed to be a movie, but instead they said because they fell through, they took the script and turned it into comic book form, and they kept it like to like what Ash is, and as far as Freddy and Jason. But good Halloween comic book. It's 6 issues, both volumes. I would definitely recommend checking it out.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I like actually the Halloween and the Jason and the Nightmare on Elm Street comics that came out in the 2000s.
Yep,
those were a lot of fun, entertaining to say the least. Okay, one thing we were gonna do, and it's kind of, I don't know if we should though, because all of a sudden we're talking about comics again. What the heck? We're gonna destroy the crowd by talking comics, but it is New Comic Book Day, and so and we're being asked some, so why not? Do you have any more morning streams this? Time to twist Tristan.
Oh yeah,
I used to do morning streams.
Comics used to do his morning streams, and then he's decided, you know what? Screw that. I want to sleep.
That is what happens. Actually, Gail and I, she comes home late at night, so we end up staying up until all hours, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. We don't always agree, but she definitely has her shit together in comics. You'd have a great show just talking comics and perspective in books. That's great. Yeah.
The more positive we get, the less people.
The less people. Go
I noticed
out.
that.
We're talking good stuff, and it goes. Well, let's see. Tomorrow is New Comic Book Day, and is there anything here? What are we looking forward to? Who just Hey, we have somebody popping on. Let me do this.
Is sports on repeat this year? What's going on? He showed up.
Way too much positivity all of a sudden.
I know, right?
You start talking about the new stuff, and look who shows up.
Yeah,
you saw my last comment. Back issues are toxic. Buy new comics.
That's right.
I'm doing a heel turn.
We can't do positive anymore. Breed's here now. We gotta be mean to him.
I gotta tell you, I did read a new issue finally, because I've bought so many new books and I haven't read them yet. But I caught up with Berserk #4, and I still have #5 to actually get caught up with.
Yeah.
But I am so far behind on my new book reading. I've actually just given up. I figure I'm gonna sell some of the miniseries I still haven't read. It's been like a damn year since, what was it, Red Sonja, Dark Powers, and all that, and I still haven't read them.
Dan Ambit,
I'm not getting to them. I'm not getting to those.
You praised those, at least some of them, and then decided, oh, that's done now.
Well, it's because I didn't buy them until like they were sitting in my, like right now I've got a stack of new books in the long box in their hold box about that big. And it gets to the point where it's intimidating, and I start thinking, I don't even know if I want to make this leap anymore.
Right.
It's just too much. And so, yeah. Tilliam saying, I do enjoy Berserk, but the story can be up and down a bit. That's something I agree with. I like now they had some really fun books. Oh, yeah, me too. What a great independent comic book publisher they were. What are your thoughts on the new Star Wars comics? Haven't read them.
They make comics?
Oh yeah.
I knew they back in the day. Like I know they're still doing. I'm just kidding.
for the longest time, Star Wars was one thing you can rely on as far as the whole Marvel thing is considered. So how are your Red Sox doing? Wait, are you someone who watches a Red Sox game? You've got, what is that, Boston in the back? You're wearing a Cincinnati shirt.
I was born in Boston. I live in Cincinnati.
Okay.
They've been my two favorite teams for 50 plus years.
Is this one of the, see, now I want to delve into the psychology of Eric Breen a little bit. Is this one of those things where if you're not wearing your Cincinnati shirt, you think it's unlucky?
No,
I don't know.
No, okay. I wear this because it's one of the few shirts that my fat ass can still fit in.
I get that. I actually understand. That's one reason why I like this one, because I bought it at 3X and I just grew into it.
Unfortunately, most of my Red Sox stuff got shrunk in the wash.
Yikes.
That's code for I grew out of them.
See, that's why I tell Gail I don't take showers.
No, but yeah.
Twilight Zone, Ghostbusters, Screen. Yeah, great stuff at that is great stuff at Now Comics. So let's see, stuff for this, Eric jumps in as we're talking about new comics. Do you have anything going on as far as the as far as what we talked about before?
Well, I was kind of paying more attention to the game than the stream, so I did catch some of the rants.
Did you see the part where his face went bright red and steam came out of his ears? He heard a train whistle.
Fun. Is it me, or is Adventure Man coming out like once every St. Smithens Day? It's the same thing with the Man Among Ye. I like Man Among Ye. What I've read of it, it's been enjoyable.
Stephanie Phillips, who's writing currently writing Harlequin, but is forced to work with Riley Rossmo, so it just really taints her writing. Because you can't even.
Sucks.
Oh, it's like. Could you pair her with somebody worse than Rossmo? Like give her like actually Howard Shaker or I don't know, somebody who can actually draw.
Well, we're gonna start here. These are the Image comics that are coming out. I would recommend Man Among Ye. It's a good title. I did not like Adventure Man enough to continue, nor did I like Crossover. But people have been telling me, you gotta try it again because I'm missing out on something. Echolands is a book I've bought, but I have not yet read.
Yep.
I've got it here somewhere. I can't even find my new books anymore. Oh, there's a new book called Hellcop.
She flying a helicopter?
Yeah.
So
is it a Hellcop because they're a helicopter pilot or because apparently they have something to do with Spawn?
I thought it was Oracle.
Holy shit. Look
with a helicopter attachment.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 covers. This one's the best.
It's a brand new one, isn't it? Number 1. Yeah, it's going to have a bunch.
Yeah. Jupiter's Legacy never actually got the urge to take the leap.
Oh, wow. It was supposed to be like tying into the Netflix thing, and the Netflix thing still got canceled.
I know, right?
it's
Philadelphia, sometimes enjoyable, sometimes not. Rather than buy the comic book mom, I recommend you pay someone to kick you in the nuts. You will have a better time. If you are a woman, I recommend you grow nuts so somebody could kick you in them. You would have a better time than reading this crap. Did you guys read Mom?
Yeah, I did.
And your thoughts? That's what I thought.
I'll just say that.
Yeah,
like,
I read it too.
There's a mushroom on the front there, and that makes me think: is Mom about drugs, or is this random? Like, hey, it's colorful. Just the bright colors on there.
This book was horrible. It was god awful stuff. Really,
if the interior looks like that pencil art like that, I'm scared.
Actually, I've never read Oblivion Song.
Oblivion Song is good. That is Robert Kirkman. Primordial. It's not my book. I'm not usually a big Jeff Lemire guy, but picked it up with his 1960s. It's about space.
You liked it. I was the one that was like, oh, that was a bunch of pretentious crap, and you enjoyed it.
It's the ending that hooked me because I have a thing. I'll watch something that's bad because I kind of want to know how the story ends, even though it's like it's taken forever to get there. I want to know how it ends. I want to know what the actual ending plot point is because it's got two talking. It looks like you're gonna have a talking dog and a monkey.
Is an incredible cover.
Is that Captain America?
Yeah, well, it's Wonder Woman, Batman, and Captain America trick-or-treating at the clown's house in Spawn.
Yep.
Saint Mercy has been very weird, so I recommend that. It's if you can find issue number 1 and 2, I think you'll have a good time with it if you like weird books. Another one, I've never read Sweet Paprika.
And if you're tuning in right now, we're doing the positive stuff as far as what the
we're actually talking comics, the stuff that we're interested in that's coming out tomorrow, and that Texas Blood is something that I've been buying and reading and finding to be very interesting. If you're into big action kind of stuff, this is not the book for you. This is very much a character-driven, slow burn. If it's kind of like all the talking points in that movie, Hell or High Water. I like that. I like this book. It's very
that's the thing though. It's like it was really weird because I remember when it first came out, you and Breen and Ash on Comics were all raving about it, and all of a sudden it's like you guys are all quiet.
Yeah, it just
it's like
The first arc ended.
yeah. The Good Asian has been surprisingly good. It is a very good detective story. I recommend it as well. I like this one. I thought it was pretty cool.
Walking Dead.
Rhaegar saying he just bought all the copies of Sweet Paprika. Tell us how it is, by all means. Let's see.
Scumbag looks...
The incentive scam, says Undead Quinn.
Yeah.
Yep. That is what it is. And so, yeah, if you guys see a title that like we pass over and you think is good, or if we go, wow, I wonder how that is and it's bad, let us know. I want to hear your opinion on the books that are going to be on the shelf as well. I feel kind of silly and stupid for not jumping on the Walking Dead Deluxe.
Yeah, for those of you who decided, like, oh, I'm not going to get it because I've already read the compendium. This is not only in color, but there's notes about how he created and what he wrote, just the whole director's cut, and plus he's answering fans' questions. You can write into there, going to Skybound X, and he's answering in like the actual like Marvel used to do. You can write in, and he replies back to you. It's like it's cool, and then it shows the original covers.
Yeah, I read all of the issues individually, and I bought them when they came out. And yes, I do have the compendiums and all that kind of stuff. So I felt, do I really need to do this? And I kind of thought, you know what, they're in color now. Maybe I should jump on and try to get the last.
I jumped on.
Oh, son of a beeswax!
I jumped on because I've never had any of the books. Okay. By the time I got into it, so I'm loving it. I'm getting the color. This is my collection. And you know what? I've talked to Ash, I talked to Skip and Tosh about this, and like, wouldn't it be cool if like he just continued to, like he thought he's ending 193, and all of a sudden he starts continuing. 194 comes out in the deluxe, or he spins up.
This kind of reminds me of when my TV shows went from black and white to color back in.
Where'd I go with it? Oh, here it is. Okay, I had to jump off because I'm also watching an auction of a whole bunch of Marvel Bronze Age. So, I got to make sure I get in there. I think it's right now it's at about $90, and I have a feeling at the very last moment it's going to jump up to $300. I've never read Time Before Time, but Two Moons. Oh, I thought it ended at number 5. Whoops. I think I already sold that. Yeah, sorry, guys. I thought it ended at number 5. Two Moons is a weird book. I recommend it. It was fine. It was fun. Never read Vinyl. Going to Dynamite. I've been reading the George Martin. I haven't been buying them, but I've been reading the George Martin books because I've actually never read the books. And these are based on the Game of Thrones books. And it's pretty good. I got to tell you. Barbarella, talk about the incentive cover scam.
Lucio Perillo, though, I got to tell you, though, his art is good. The painted art.
The covers are good. The story I didn't care for because
the story is really weak. And that's
a problem. Let me go screw someone and take care of it. That's it. That really is the story.
That is it for Barbarella, which is kind of sad because, like,
look at this. Okay, there's 3, that's 7, 11, 15 covers for issue number 4 of Barbarella.
The incentives,
Wow. Now, I also am getting, this is another one I buy, Betty Page, Curse of the Banshee. And I like the story. Yes, I read it for the story. Shut up, Merrick.
Well, no. That's the weird thing is because I honestly, Xenoscope back in 2000, when it came out in 2013, I would see my shop and I'd be like, "What is this?" Like, what is it? And then I never stopped to open up because of like it's like being in a a porn store. For those who've gone in there every once, just to see what it is, and you look inside. All of a sudden, there's a guy looking at, "Hey, what you looking at?" I don't want that experience with a comic book like this, but. And I thought it was just pinups, but some of these books, as risky as it looks, there actually is a decent story.
Let me ask you a question, Vank, because you're significantly younger than me and considerably younger than
significantly
me.
Younger.
Now, did you know who Betty Page was the first time you saw a Betty Page comic on the shelf?
Yeah, she's a pinup model.
Well, I know. Like, when did you? I mean, Did you
Well,
have you known who she
I've
was?
known about it since the 90s. Yeah.
Okay, I was just curious because I was wondering how, because I'm always curious about how yesteryear stars, how well known they are.
Marilyn Monroe and all that stuff.
Oh, no, everybody knows Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. But I'm just saying.
But Betty Page was a B-lister, even in her day. So, but she got a cult following. Then Dave Stevens basically reintroduced her to the world, but he's been gone forever now. So I was just curious.
I got to tell you, I like Deja Thoris as well. I like the John Carter of Mars books. And yes, occasionally I do have to get the model cover, but and I ask that, can you put it in a brown paper bag?
Medicinal purposes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I mean, though. It's like you buy these, like it's like picking a Playboy and like, Gail, it's not a Playboy. It's actually a comic book.
Well, here's something else, and I've mentioned it to her. I said, in all honesty, because what I do is I would read a book and then I'll put it on eBay, or it'll go into the it'll go into the auction or whatever. This will sell a lot quicker than this.
Yep.
And that's just the truth of it. James Bond. I stopped because at one point in time they had Vita Ayala writing, and I can't imagine anybody treating James Bond well that would think that Vita Ayala is a decent writer for James Bond.
Chris Gage wrote the series before this.
Crystal Gage, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting because he had to go undercover with Spectre. So that was kind of an interesting take on it.
Let's see. MK asks if I saw Injustice. I was actually going to buy Injustice today, but I needed shoes, so I chose the shoes.
And I did Quinn's bringing up Dynamite more about the covers and the art. Sometimes the art in the interior actually is pretty decent compared to what is. But it is true. They know who their audience is, just like Xenoscope knows their audience is. Marvel alienates half their audience. There are Red Sonja fans, girls out there, they buy the covers. It's not just guys looking at pretty girls. There are girls who like looking at pretty girls. And they're not, they're not afraid to look at the cosplay covers. That person who does cosplay is being hired to do, they're giving jobs. So
I haven't read Sonyaverse, but I've read the black and white, and that was pretty decent. And
everyone who's not read it says like, oh, it just sounds like Jet Li the One.
Oh,
which to me isn't a bad idea because Black Widow was pretty much.
Oh wait, I did read Sonyaversal. This is the one that does the Spider-Man story where you got the thing going around killing all of the. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that was Vampirverse.
Vampirverse is the new one. Yes, yes.
I'm actually surprised that Purgatory only has 2 covers. I want to pick this up tomorrow. That will definitely be one.
I love Purgatory. I love Purgatory. I love just mainly the Chaos characters when they're in stuff because it just feels it's like they're not idle or used a lot, but now they're actually starting to use them more. Especially Dynamite. I couldn't imagine them being anywhere else. And
I got to say, of the Vengeance, I like this cover better.
Like I said, Vengeance of Vampirella is really. I really like the fact they allowed the same writer from the Harris days to come back, finish his story. 25 years later, and they acknowledge it in the book. It's been 25 years since she died in the original run back in 95 or 93, what it was. And they have her could be brought back to life and go against her main villain, the goddess Nyx, who's basically the Chaos Lord's daughter. And it kept with the same feeling when it was a Harris book. So I was really thankful for that. Unfortunately, the artist who was drawing in the original series passed away. That was the guy who was writing the covers, the magazines. Remember? Eric probably knows his name more than I. He's a very popular vampire artist from back in the day.
I remember Jose Gonzalez or whatever his name was from the 70s.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was that guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Black Widow, I've been picking up because, shockingly, I know it's Kelly Thompson, but it just feels like someone else is writing, put her name on it.
Yeah, I do, and I did enjoy one of the books that I read of this. I enjoyed the first few, but the last ones, I'm not.
The first few were basically long kiss goodbye.
Daredevil, I've been enjoying that. Still good. I've tried to read Darkhold, but not. And Inferno, I have not yet made the leap either. It's been a while since I've read anything new from Marvel beyond Daredevil.
Dark Ages is all right. I mean, if you want steampunk Marvel, there you go.
Yeah. Can honestly say I've never picked up Kang, never picked up Marauders. Moon Knight's been okay.
Moon Knight's phenomenal.
Yeah, never picked up Sword. Shang-Chi has been enjoyable.
I might go back and just try to read more Spider-Woman because I don't know. I guess like
you see the awesome cover and you're like, wow, can it be this good on the inside? But dude, fooled you once, shame on them.
No, the thing is,
twice, shame on you. Fooled you. What are they up to? 16 times?
The interior is kind of like the one you see her where she's flying right there. The interior is like they're giving her not just the mom body, they're giving her like the body she had before. She's not like the she's not like the
is good, the story's shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. The art and the interior art is good. The story is below average. It's like reading Captain Marvel.
Betty Page, I was told by my folks in the mid-90s, I didn't know how much she showed till recently, however, says MK. Yeah, she went all for some. Vidi Ellis is Bad Comics, is the most overrated creator in comics today. Could be Tom Taylor. Let's see.
Actually rate Vida?
But yeah, it's Vita Ayala and the new industry taken. The X-Men are ethno-state villains and can't read them anymore. Yeah, it is difficult, man. And Lord Villain is saying the most tragic but awesome comic, The Crow by James O'Barr. Yeah, that's a tough read. I got to tell you, I wish I started the War of the Bounty Hunters, but I haven't. And now they're so far in.
I still want people who I want people who are reading and actually enjoying the whole X-Men after Hawks Pox and all. I want you to come on the show and just tell me what's the reason why you're like this. You know, what's making you go back and buy it? Because to me, it's just like it's not what the X-Men was. It just totally fundamentally changed. And the fact that it feels like an Elseworld being pushed into continuity is the main universe.
Yeah, I have a question.
What's up?
There have been 2 masterworks, and I've seen 2 covers for each.
Ooh, Dracula.
There's different colors, or are they doing paperbacks again?
It looks like hardcovers, but yeah, it's Ghost Rider Volume 3.
Yeah, because that's the original cover design.
Yeah, that's
in the late '80s. And that's the modern one. Okay, so they're both. Wow, so variant covers on effing Masterworks.
Yep, because here you got this too.
God,
look at the Draculas. Yeah.
I gotta be honest. I don't really read a lot of Marvel, so I like this cover though. That is sweet.
Yeah, Marvel needs to eat hot death too.
Alrighty. Moving on, we've got DC, which we've been ripping into for about 45 minutes now. Absolute Swamp Thing by Alan Moore, highly recommend. I don't know what Deep Target is, but Green Arrow and Green.
Look at the covers. Every cover is a variant cover. They're Aquaman and them are wearing different uniforms.
Yeah, I see that.
And that's only 2 of like the 6.
There's 6 covers or
more of that. You look at League of Comic Geeks.
In all honesty, I would probably go for the Inhyuk Lee cover on this one, but I would get it because it's an Aquaman book. Who's writing it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, who's writing it is very important.
But my point is that they're all wearing the matching uniforms, no matter what cover it is.
All right. Let's see. Batman Reptilian, I have not read yet. I do highly recommend anybody No Man's Land. That is incredible. Checkmate is Brian Michael Bendis, so there you go. DC Vampires is coming out.
I really want to buy it, but I'm afraid it's going to be bad, and I'm not sure who's writing it right now.
DC versus Vampires? Is it who is it?
Tynan's last thing at DC.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
don't think this comes out this week, though.
Oh, am I like a week ahead here? I thought this was. I asked them for this week's comics.
No, I think you might be a couple ahead.
Oh, big freaking deal. We'll talk about these, and I'll learn better.
Well, even if it's just like just
Deathstroke Inc. That is a big pile of suck.
Say we're like 2 or 3 weeks ahead. Who cares? This is what's coming up in the future. Are you convinced? that there might be something you might want to buy, or are you just completely done?
I want to get back into Batman so much, but oh my gosh, I just don't want to do it
Oh my
now.
gosh.
I miss my Batman comics, but if I read this, I understand it won't be my Batman comics.
I thought Black Canary had a Deathstroke on a leash right there, but it's his bandana.
Hill House box set. That just seems like it would be a lot of fun. What is it? Everything? Collects together all the terrifying Hill House graphic novels. Let's see. It includes softcover editions of Basket of Heads, The Lolo Woods, when the Dollhouse Family, that was good. Daphne Byrne, that was good. The Plunge was excellent. Yeah, I could do that. That looks actually pretty cool. Forget about those. I've never done the Ruby thing. Robin has been good. Superman 78 has been something you guys have been looking into. Did anybody read Superman versus Lobo? Any good?
I forgot it even came out.
Oh, and Task Force Z is what goes off of that Joker book. Oh no, man, I'm into it.
Is that Red Hood in charge of it?
Yeah,
because I know they were put in one of the Batman books. I think it was the Mariko Tamaki one or the Detective, or one of those. They had the Red Hood leading up to this in the back of the book. I'm
looking forward to it. Hopefully, it's good.
It makes no sense in continuity because Red Hood is working as. Does Red Hood take his team? Like they said, he leads the team, and so he chose the guy that murdered his grandfather to be in the team.
Yeah.
Because Bane's in the team. And he knows Bane killed Alfred, who's like his grandfather, so sure, we'll work together.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense at all. Wonder Woman Black and Gold was crap. I don't read Teen Titans Academy, and then we got Wonder Woman.
But look at those covers, man. I just want to rip the cover off.
I know, right? Some of these are excellent. That is a really good cover right there. Yeah, you're right. You're right. The covers are better than what we see inside.
That looks like early 2000s Wonder Woman cover. That's crazy. Right there.
That is early 2000 Wonder Woman's cover.
Oh my gosh.
That's a trade.
I highly recommend Dark Blood to be avoided. It was not good, kids. Not good at all. I don't read the
Why is he called Dark Blood? Is it because he's not white?
Yes, actually. Oh, House of Slaughter. Ladies and gentlemen who like the
prequel to the Children?
I'm digging. Oh, look at this. This is the lake house. The lake house cover.
Yeah, I read the synopsis for it.
What do you got? They may be doing the classic covers on the Masterworks for the people who didn't pick them up in the first run and want a matching set. Let's see. It's about the Dead Wifeness Prize. I don't know where that's going. The most about the Crow. I like the idea of Green Arrow and Aquaman working together. Says Aqualad. Me too. I'm looking forward to it.
Two people who don't have books should be working together on a book.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, Pop Star Princess, what's up? Once in Future is pretty decent and recommend that. I never really got into Seven Secrets, but not surprised. We Only Find Them Dead. I read the first story arc and it was interesting. G.I. Joe. I keep trying. God bless you 80s kids or 90s kids, I should say, who like G.I. Joe. I can't get into any of this.
I never liked the cartoon or the movie. I just like the toys.
IDW has become a bastion for properties that I'm too old for.
Ghostbusters was the only thing I was really getting from there, and they decided, you know what, we can't hold on to it.
Except for this right here. Usagi Yojimbo. Any day, anytime. Awesome.
I try to read those comics, and it's just about as cringy as the show is.
What, Winona?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to Dark Horse. Anything of interest? Black Hammer.
Fear Case. I think that's Matt Kent.
Yep. I do still enjoy the Hellboys. Gotta say, those are pretty good. This seems like it would be awesome. Dan Barton, Nocturne Omnibus. I would highly recommend this to anybody. And I'm pretty sure if he wasn't coughing up a lung, Eric would recommend this to you. Let's see, Stranger Things and Dark Horse Book of Horror. All right, we'll take that. What do we got? American Mythology. Never. Oh, Hatchet. Okay, yeah, I've read the Hatchet books. They're very simple. Hey, look, we're gonna go out and play in the woods because this guy who's killed 1 million people isn't real. Oh my gosh, he's real! Run! I can't run because I'm dead. There you go. That's the story. Do recommend the Zorro books though, because sometimes they take from the Dell comics and just do those stories.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, they go deep. I don't even know some of these things. Source Point, I've read this. It was not good. Winchester Mystery House, Touch. I haven't even heard of those. Antarctic, what do they got?
Alias.
This I picked up an Exciting Comics, and the art in it was so horribly bad. So bad. That looks like
Featuring Naomi.
Yeah. Let's see. PS. Oh, these are the Army books, right? Oh, look at that. PSR books. Look at that. That's Brain Boy.
Yeah, no.
Now I'm awake.
Holy crap, look at this. Somebody is I told my dad, because my dad can clean up photos. He does what you call it, genealogy, and he's very good at cleaning up. I said, Dad, go into these digital comic museum, clean up the image. Well, let's publish this shit, because it's, you know, and he's like, I don't know if we can make any money. There you go.
Mention the Unknown. Obviously, Caruso.
Brain Boy, Classic Adventure Comics, which Forbidden Wars, Fight Comics, Planet Comics. Yeah, look at this. This guy's reproduced, reprinted, and made trade paperbacks out of all the public.
Well, I think those are hardcovers.
Yeah, those are hardcovers.
Yeah, hardcovers. But point being is they're all public domain. Anybody can do this.
No. So that's my point. Was PSR books do not sell well. I've picked up over 50 of them in remainder bins at Half Price Books.
Wow.
That guy from Guandanaland is doing that, but he does them in paperback, and basically he's doing the same things for $15.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
And he's doing very well.
Make it cheap for people to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never even heard of any of these either. Let's see, Yen Press.
Manga.
Oh, look, kids, manga. Never open it.
Oh my gosh, he said it correctly, guys. You hear that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Manga. I haven't even heard of some of these. Holy crap. They're going Aftershock. I do know Aftershock at least, but don't get any of these. But here's a book called Cross to Bear. Zenoscope. This is your crowd right here. They've got Grim Fairy Tales, and I do like the Myths and Legends.
I don't read the main books. I'm more into the select characters.
Oh, okay.
Because
like Robin Hood is your favorite.
Robin
Hood,
Bill, Robin Hood, Van Helsing, you know, Red Agent, all that stuff, you know.
Here's one that does Airboy comics, and then we've got more manga, Scout Comics. Stabbity Bunny. I got the very first Kickstarter issue of it. Let's see, Black Mask. We can pass by that pretty quick.
I already heard of that. Fart night with his
Black Mask is pretty bad. Yeah. Behemoth. Nope, never heard of these. Fantagraphics I have heard of.
Donald Duck.
Yep.
Wow.
That looks pretty.
I just saw a whole box of Donald Duck books.
Oni Press, nothing of interest there. Valiant, nothing of interest there. Moths is okay. Resistance is okay. That sucked.
Can you go back to Mad Cave real quick?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's who Joe writes for, and
you know what? I've got a Battle Cats. It's like issue 0 from about 10 years ago. I thought they didn't do these anymore. I wonder if it's a book that's like one of those Kickstarter books or something like that. Broadsword, Fantastico. Wow, they just go deep on this channel. All righty. Well, I'm going to call it here. And Action Labs, I liked a couple of their books. Archie, whoever reads it. No, I'm just kidding.
They're still bringing out RG. They had the 8th anniversary.
Yeah. Drawn on Quarterly. Uh-oh. Somebody has a YouTube channel to talk to. Square Enix, Story Worlds. Ah, yes. Issue number 2 is coming out tomorrow, by the way.
They're also putting out the 3rd printing of that issue.
Really? I told them, by the way, I told them, by the way, I want everything.
Right?
What do you mean by everything? Everything. Yeah. I actually have that somewhere around here.
Yep.
The cover there, the first issue. Somewhere on these. God dang it! I gotta come up with a filing system. Okay. Here you go. Berserker #4. Still reading. Yun Scene. Get it. Treasures. Read. Didn't read. Yeah, I can't find it. It's in here somewhere though. The Gun Shy. I'm figuring I'll put them on the auction after a while, or put them in the on the YouTubes or eBays and all that. Read Young Romance, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Eric Breen.
61-year-old Young Romance.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
Grandma Romance now.
Grandma Romance, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we got here. We got to celebrate the old love.
Oh, yeah.
The love of a 61-year-old teenager.
All the 2007s, Brave and the Bolds.
Oh, okay.
These are fun.
If you're going to show off some books.
Oh, these are old ones. If you want, this I'll show you what I was currently reading. Has been Titans, the little miniseries. You save it a trade. This is like the opposite of the Titans show, where they actually have the same characters, but they're actually likable and they actually are back to what they're supposed to be. Army of Darkness, 1979. He's in Harlem.
Yeah, I haven't.
That's crazy.
Read that yet. I've got it, but haven't read it.
Batman 89, #3. Book's getting good.
I should have picked up issue #2. Didn't.
Yeah. Getting Blade Runner Origins still. Fun book. If you're a Blade Runner. That's the thing. DC's doing a lot of miniseries. Blue and Gold is a miniseries, but it's fun. These are the fun books you can get from DC right now. The only John Kent I know of. Fortunately, it's the last one. That's the one that came out that came out, and John came out in the other book. Yes, outrage.
I don't think anybody's outraged by that.
The hairs in no way. Just kidding. Peter David's doing good.
So I like to keep whatever you were talking about at arm's length, just in case.
And then here's the book that E doesn't like. Vampirverse.
That is true.
But yeah, these old Brave and the Bold ones, like even the 2007 ones I love them because
Good stuff.
yeah, they are.
Yep. Let's see. Have you guys read any Radiant Black? I did not, as a matter of fact. I just didn't pick it up when it came out, and I do hear some people like it though. Let's see. Black Hammer is for people who missed the old DC and Marvel verse is Undead Quinn. Boom. I bought one of the Planet comics. I haven't read it, but the quality is great, says Aqualad. I saw some anime fans once get so triggered when one guy I knew called it manga. That's funny. Ninjas and Robots from Keen Spot is a lot of fun, says Bad Comic Review. Gwandaland is there we go.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. And they also do color if they're considerably more expensive.
Yeah.
Hey, Grave Boy, we were talking about the. It ended up being the Colorist, so my my thumbnail is off, and he quit because they're changing the core of Superman.
Yeah.
And so we had a big old rant about that for the first hour. Gave up on modern comics, bought a whole bunch of Wolverine and Iron Man back issues today, says Grave Boy. A lot of people are going in that direction.
I just want to point out, though, for those who don't really know this, the first couple of issues were Mark Waid and George Perez. You're getting George Perez art.
That's not bad.
Green Lantern uses Supergirl to go undercover as like a little bimbo at some intergalactic casino. And she dresses up like a little girl.
And Slither Claw is saying he has suggestions for what to talk about. I personally like Blue and Gold, says Maranya. It has social media references done right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. that, and then I can't remember if I got these for your auction or not, but I think I did. Maybe I didn't.
Oh, that's sweet. Any showcase is good. Those are actually. I would like to put together a run because those are hard to find in a run. And yes, I finally won some Marvel comics. That was what I was reacting to, Eric.
Yo, I figured as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually got that from the auction. Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, MK, not a chance.
But the reason I'm more geeked about it, I don't care about the book, but the fact it's Harris. Harris carried more than Dynamite, so you're getting a good Vampirella stuff. It was, more respectful to the source material.
Let me see if we're gonna share some books. I might as well share this, just to give an idea of what was won. I've been looking for some 70s, 80s, 90s Marvel. We've got Run of the Human Fly, some solo Avengers with Hawkeye. Looks like some John Byrne Fantastic Four, the official index. We got some Silver Surfer from the late 80s. More John Byrne. Marvel team-ups. Power Man and Iron Fist. We got more Power Man and Iron Fist. Some New Mutants. More solo Avengers. And let's see. Then we've got New Mutants, Fantastic Four. Some Star Brand. And more Power Man and Iron Fist. So that's going to be in the auction soon. So there you go. I'm just happy to finally get a box of fucking Marvel. And it's not going to cost $600. It happened yesterday. Eric, I'm here. I'm going to be finding, I'm trying to get some Silver Age Marvel. And I found someone was selling about 70 Marvel 2-in-1s. And they were low numbers. It was like 3 through 72, 73, something like that. And I saw it was it's $60. So I'm like watching it. Okay, that's cool. All right, 60. I figure at $1.50 each, 70 books, 110. I'll go 130. And as I put in my 130, that shit jumped up to $180. People are buying these older Marvel, man.
Hopefully they bought those for themselves.
Yeah.
Because that's 2-in-1 does not have any keys of any kind. And you can get, I picked up a damn near mint copy of number 2 for $10 about 3 weeks ago.
I've seen number 2 going, a mint copy. I've seen that one going for upwards $20. The first 10 I find to be, one, harder to find, and 2, a little bit more expensive, but nothing outrageous. Like even when I had issue number 1, it's a $15 book.
Yeah,
it's a $20 book. Depending if it's in mint, I would go 25.
Because there's about a year and a half difference between Team Up and 2-in-1, or about a year maybe. Mm-hmm. And that year takes it from 72 to late 73. Yeah. Which matters, but like with Team Up has Byrne's first X-Men in number 53. It has like the second or third black suit appearance in 140. So it has keys that have shot, or first American Captain Britain, but 2-in-1 has none of that. So if somebody's paying 180 for that, they're hopefully, like I said, building their own collection.
Probably so. I do ask if, ladies and gentlemen, if you do have something outstanding at the auction, please send the money, because I just I've got about 5 days to pay this thing. So most of it's going to be going to that. Then I talked to Gail about it too. I said, hey, look, I'm not going to be much help this week. Can you, because I need to get some Marvel in here in this house. I need to get some older books so I could expand and get, so we'll see about that.
So I got a few more books that are going to come to a future auction.
Cool.
Check out this.
That is sweetness.
So, you pulled the trigger on those. Those were cool that you showed earlier today.
Yeah. Giant size werewolf. I was like, oh my gosh, like I wanted to get it. So it's issue 3. Got the giant size Spider-Man. Human Torch.
Sweet.
If you want to see what the original looks like.
Yep.
Because I always like to keep whatever Venkman's showing at arm's length also.
Right.
Marvel
Those
Triple
are
H.
pretty. Those are pretty
love
cool
those.
issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Marvel reprint books. Yep.
With
Yep.
new Gil Kane covers. Nice.
That is sweet.
Yep.
25-cent Marvel Tales. Not too shabby.
Nor is that.
Not bad.
I've never seen this cover before at all. I never even know they had Marvel Superheroes as a team, as a name. So
Yeah, that's what the first Captain Marvel and the first Guardians were part of that series, and it went to reprints with number 21.
Now that is really nice.
yep. Then we got 19 of the Marvel Collector's Item Classics.
Nice.
These are, yeah, I never knew they even had these. I was like, I was like, oh my gosh, these are actually kind of cool. And then, yeah, 20.
May I make a suggestion there, Venk?
Don't sell them.
No, read them before you send them down.
No, I'm going to be reading them, yes. Yeah.
That's some good stuff you got there. Oh, that's beautiful.
JSA.
100-page super spectacular. Says they're the best.
Yep. And then I saw this, I couldn't resist.
Oh yeah.
Oh, those definitely. The Batman and Teen
149.
Titans are definitely worth
Yep,
it.
149,
Yeah.
and I got a couple more.
And
I'll be
these
done.
will be coming to the auction.
132 or no? I'm sorry.
131.
That was off of one.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the cat. I was like, oh my gosh, that's kind of cool. And then this is probably the coolest one I saw.
Nice.
Batman Surgeon Rock. DC 100 pages. I was like,
That is really cool.
Surgeon Rock had appearance with Batman.
Oh, he's
That-
several.
A couple.
But
yeah.
to me, I'm just first getting into DC, so seeing this stuff,
They're all new to it, so
it's
it's
like, oh my gosh. I've seen like Sergeant Rock stuff, oh my gosh.
Yeah, these
It's
were
a
written
lot
by-
of fun when you get a book, whether it's old or new, and it makes you go, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's awesome! I want to do that." It's the kind of thing that you wish the new books would encourage. Getting back to what we talked
And
about.
then I saw this Peter David Gene Colan Dreadstar.
Well, hopefully it'll go, man, because I had that
Oh.
before, and it was like pulling
and
teeth
Eric-
trying to get somebody interested.
Outrage.
Yeah. Well, Venk, those Brave
Bernie-
New Bulls.
Bernie
Those were,
Colan, yeah.
those were Bob Haney, who
Yeah.
didn't care about any kind of continuity or
Yep.
if anything made any sense. So even though Sergeant Rock was set in World War II,
Yep.
it would be a strong breeze blows, and they're in the same time continuum for the next 17 pages.
And then I got this one here too.
First appearance of Dawnstar.
Yep. And then
Oh, nice. We're just talking about that. The first 10 Marvel 2-in-1s are
like I said, the Batman or DC 100, those are cool. And then I came across this one too. I forgot about this, but they have there's a Huntress one.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, the
Harper
Huntress is pretty good, and the Huntress is one of those evergreen characters. There are some smaller characters I noticed in the auction that will sell, and she is one of them.
But this is Greg Rucka part 1 of 6, and remember this is also like the early 90s when Rucka can actually wrote stuff, and they weren't allowed to be divas.
There you go.
There was no Twitter for them to outspeak.
All right.
I think Twitter ruined comic books.
Well, let's see. I'm off for the next 2 days. I've been talking and trying to get a way that we could do live streams, or maybe if you guys wanted to do Eric.
But
If I give you the password here, you want to do some live streams with the fossils over here, kind of promote that channel.
How do I do that now?
If I give you the password to the StreamYard, I'm off on Wednesdays and sometimes Thursdays, gang. Basically, it's date night, so we got to do that. Holy Toledo, that's a good book to have around.
And guess what? Next one I have.
Eric, you okay?
Yeah.
All right. That is nice. Now, the first one there, we got to find another copy of that, sell it as the series again.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be off on that. Friday is our reading. I haven't even, did we talk about what we were going to do?
I don't think so.
I thought it was another Halloween thing.
Oh, it's going to be a horror-inspired book. Yeah, we're going to figure something out that way.
You were thinking the first appearance of Moon Knight a while ago.
Well, that was mentioned today. I know I got to write this crap down. I got to just
Werewolf by Night. Yeah. That you do that. The first appearance of Moon Knight. That'd be kind of cool.
I'd like to do the first appearance of Werewolf by Night.
We did the Creature Commandos.
Oh no, we were going to do the demon, the Etrigan. It was going to be Etrigan.
And he was going to rhyme.
Yes,
he's gonna freestyle.
I'm gonna, yeah, which Eric says maybe the demon doesn't do the rhyming in the first issue. But this Friday, we're going to be on our reading. We're going to be doing the first issue of the demon. And Saturday's our auction. Sunday is Jeopardy. If you would like to play Jeopardy, let me know. And we'll set it up so you can play. And then we just kind of circle right on back to the topic live streams and everything. Actually, show up on Saturday night at 9 o'clock. Not only do we sell comics, but it really is just a hangout. We're talking about all sorts of stuff.
Yep.
We're hitting every topic we can. And so it's a live stream that we just so happen to be selling comic books at the same time. So show up then. Well, and we did say that we were going to do the first appearance of Solomon Grundy as well.
I thought we already read that when he went against Alan Scott.
Oh yeah, we did MK. We already did. You're right. We already did the first appearance of Solomon.
Because I remember, it was a Palpatine came on and did the voice of Grundy's friend. And I think Breen was Grundy, wasn't he?
Yeah, Eric was
of course.
He was Grundy.
Now he was Grundy, yes. With MK, we got to get him in here so he could do Dr. Doom. So
we can watch
that out. Yeah. All righty, gang. Once again, thanks for hanging out with us and listening to us rant. And thanks for sticking around while we actually talk positively about books that are coming out tomorrow, what's got us interested in everything, what's in your poll box, and so forth and so on. Show up on Friday at basically 9 o'clock. If I can, I'll jump in on tomorrow. Actually, I don't want to. Tomorrow, I'm hoping to go see Halloween with my wife. Thursday, if we're home, I'll try to jump on and do some sort of live stream. It'll be more of a hangout like this one. Friday is one of our shows where we read comics. It's going to be Demon. Saturday, Sunday, by all means, it'll be 9 o'clock Eastern, and I'll try to make sure it's 9 and not 9:30, gang. But show up here. Like, thank everybody for hanging out with us. Eric, thanks for jumping on. Black Cat, always awesome. Venkman, thank you for helping out, and everybody in the chat, thank you for helping.
Can I say something real quick?
Continue? No. Yes, go ahead.
Since you are on date night and it doesn't conflict with anything you're doing, I want to tomorrow night we've got the 4-color fossils on Graphic Man's channel, who you've seen in chat. A lot of you guys in chat tonight have stopped by, and thank you very much for that. We're going to be showing horror-related comic books, and you see some incredible stuff on these live streams.
Yeah, and if you're not really excited about what they're talking about, you can always troll Breen in the chat.
That's why I'm there.
There you go.
Yeah. Why infringe on Black Cat's gimmick?
Right. There you go.
Why settle for one? You're gonna have 20.
Hey,
this is why it takes us 4 hours to say goodnight, ladies and gentlemen, because we just get on.
So you blame me the one time you don't go off on tangent.
I know, right? Tangent. That's what I said. We just all of a sudden we get on a tangent and it just it goes. Yeah. Let's see. Okay.
Beat Engine Comics, people.
Long before there was a Marvel Comics, there was a Martin Goodman, born in Brooklyn in 1908 to Russian immigrants. I'm sorry. Okay, now I guess we can say goodbye. All right, gang. Once again, thanks for hanging out. As always, if you don't mind helping out the channel, there's a Ko-Fi link, there's a PayPal link, the whole 9 yards, the auction as well. And I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that. To everyone, all of the true believers, make sure you're clicking like and doing all that kind of stuff. And thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night.
Good night,
Twiddle
kids.
says thank you too.